Well, hello, all you amazing people. I had a little bit of technical difficulties. Today we are going to talk about why Linux YouTubers don't understand why people want or need Photoshop. And it's really simple. So we talked about this on my live stream last night. And this is a concept that most nerds apparently don't seem to understand. It's a simple concept, but they don't seem to understand it. So let me dive into the ways Linux person think, okay? Someone comes up to them, could be a person, it could be a company, and they say, I want Photoshop. I need Photoshop for work, for myself, for like using it, blah, 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 blah. And they will say, you fool, why are you so stupid? Do you not understand the gloriousness, the amazingness that's called GIMP, the GNU image manipulation tool or program? Have you no idea how much money you can save as a company and or individual for using this amazing tool that is way better than Photoshop and blah, 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 blah. And that's where if people say that to you, like if they say what I just said, GIMP is better, it's free, blah, blah, open source, you should use that instead of Photoshop. That is the first indicator that they have no fucking idea what they're talking about. AKA, you should not listen to them. Why is that? Why have I just made you massively angry as a Linux person? Why is GIMP not good enough? Well, for me at home, it probably is. For YouTuber, probably is. For a person that just wants to put their, wife's face on a hot fucking photo model so they can jerk off in the toilet, probably okay. Probably. People don't want Photoshop because Photoshop is the best photo editor. In my humble opinion, Affinity Photo, even GIMP to some degree, is a better tool for photo editing than Photoshop. And you're like, but Kent, you just right now sit here and basically made the case for me. Why do people need Photoshop then? It's everything else, especially for companies. Maybe not that much for home users, but for companies. It's the Creative Cloud. This is why they want it. This is why they need it, or one of the biggest reasons for it. Why is that? If you go into businesses here, they talk a lot about all of these things here that you can do. And I will go into a little bit here, like the back end. You can work together as a team on projects that spans anything from photo editing combined with video editing, After Effects. They all talk with each other. More than one person can work on the same project, and so on and so on. GIMP don't have that. We don't have that alternative in the Linux world. That is why big, massive corporations want or need Photoshop, because of these kind of tools in the back end. The hosting, the access to, you get access via Creative Cloud. You get access to stock images, hosting, promote, all of these fucking things. Does it cost a lot of money? Of course it does. But everything in the corporate world costs a lot of money. A really good example, and you don't know that if you've not worked with IT or in the corporate world in general. Let's just say a screen like I have over here. I can buy that for like, let's say $250. If a company should buy a similar screen that is production ready and certified and all of these fucking things that 99% of companies want, that they want a good monitor, certified monitor, color accurate, calibrated, etc., etc., etc. They will probably pay twice that amount for the same monitor, because on top of that, they also get longer extended warranties, etc., etc., etc. Like, yeah, in an office for like a normal desk jerk or jerk or what you would call it, yeah, the monitor I have, they will buy that. But for like a creative professional, for a production machine in a noisy, dusty production environment in an assembly line, they need to buy equipment that has been tested more than what we use right here. I used to build machines, like industrial machines, many moons ago, and we had a small little touchscreen on that fucking device. That touchscreen, and it was no more bigger than a fucking tablet nowadays. That touchscreen, because it was built for an industrial machine, cost, are you ready? $3,000 for a simple 60 Hz rudimentary touchscreen. Why? because of the extended warranty, the testing, and blah, 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 blah. So for people, what I'm basically trying to say here, if you all want to listen to me, that is, for a company, this is not a lot of money. For a company, buying a desktop that costs $1,000 is nothing. Because not only can they, depending on where you live, you can withdraw a lot of that from taxes, but it also is an investment into the better equipment, the faster the employees can work, the more works we can do, the more jobs we can do, the more money we can make. So them spending $100 a month or whatever the fuck it is, I don't know what the pricing is, the plans are for businesses, about $100 per license. It's actually not that fucking bad. But most people, 99% of the companies out there, which 99% of the Linux YouTubers don't fucking understand is, Photoshop as a program may not be that good. All of this is what they want. Again, the support. They want extended support. They want, and this is something that a lot of nerds don't understand. Companies are willing to pay a lot of money for when shit hits the fan, they can pick up the fucking phone, bitch and moan for someone that then comes and fixes it within like 30 minutes. That's actually cheaper in a lot of instances versus them fixing it, because you are talking to an expert, hopefully an expert that is well trained and know everything about how to fix this part of software here, so they can do it more efficiently and faster than your local IT nerd that sits on eMac and are trying to hack the local Pornhub. That's why they're paying for it. It's the support. GIMP don't have that. Most open source software, I think Blender is the only one that really have really good corporate support via Canonical. But that means more to a company than GIMP is a better photo editing software. Okay? It's that fucking simple, people. Here's another massive aspect, and some open source programs are become a little bit better at this. What Adobe give people, Photoshop or Adobe Creative Suite give a corporation, an employee, is an easy way to get qualified workers. I need a 3D artist, I need a photo editor, or special effects editor. I can really easy look at a resume and look at what certification or what training they have with After Effects, Photoshop, and that is because there are so many courses that gives diplomas, that gets validation, and blah, 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 for you actually taking an education and using those software. Not so much in GIMP. GIMP have a little bit of it where you can get training, but not from big, massive, established organizations yet. That means a lot, okay? That means more than GIMP being better at editing a photo, because it makes hiring qualified workers faster, easier, and more streamlined. That fucking simple. Not only do, Photoshop or Adobe in this case, and other massive big software suites have massively great on-site training. When I mean on-site, I mean on their public website training. GIMP do GIMP have any training? I don't know. You could read the docs. There are a few tutorials, but this is nothing compared to this. Here's another thing. Third-party plugins. Adobe suites and software like this have a really great, extensive, trusted, validated third-party plugins. Because here's another thing. If a company wants to use Photoshop or any other Adobe product and they want to use a plugin, they kind of want the same quality as what they're getting with Photoshop. They want third-party plugins that is validated, tested and true, where someone will take responsibility if shit goes tits up. They may use them, but they don't prefer to just go on to GitHub, download, a fucking random ass plugin someone made in their basement and never support it anymore. Because it will or could, more likely will, in some time, give them so much hassles that they now have to take over the maintenance and development of that plugin. That's also why companies don't mind paying for licenses and third-party plugins. Because then they don't have to spend time maintaining, fixing it. They basically have paid someone else for doing it. So the company can focus on what their expertise is: photo editing, video editing, After Effects shit, visual effects editing, and not spending a lot of money and resources on also becoming maintainers and developers of software. Some companies do that, but most won't do that. It's really that simple. And all of you fucking favorite YouTubers and nerds that go out and say that, everyone can just use GIMP or the alternative to AutoCAD and stuff like that. This is not just an Adobe thing. This is how corporate software, the corporate world, works. Yes, GIMP could easily replace Photoshop as a photo editor, but it won't replace all of the other features that I just talked about. That means more than being a good photo editor. Software suites like Adobe suites and Autodesk suites, and I could go on and on and on. What people pay a lot of money for is not really the software they use, the photo editor, the video editor, in these cases here. It's everything else. Not only to talk about that Photoshop and Premiere Pro and stuff like that, and After Effects, they're kind of industry standards already. So a lot of people also prefer them because, again, more people know them, more people are trained in them, and they have this robust, amazing backend. See you all later. Bye bye.